Yo, what is up guys? Boris here coming to you guys with another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Legend Sanji V2. We knew this guy was coming and he did not disappoint. He's pretty much exactly what we thought he was going to be with a small twist. And the easy way for me to explain what he does is that he's essentially Rayleigh V1 with a 1.75 times additional attack boost on top of his chain boost. So he is a chain booster 4 times just like Rayleigh, but he does give an additional 1.75. So with 2 of those, he's going to end up doing some massive damage, making him one of the strongest captains in the entire game. Definitely is going to have the highest multiplier after a few perfects. He's going to be really powerful. I'll show you guys in a little bit how his damage stacks up with Rayleigh V1. And unfortunately, he does have a small little condition where the lower your HP, the lower the amount of matching orbs you're going to be able to get. So you definitely want to stay as high of a percentage of HP as possible. But since he does not boost HP, that should not be difficult with auto heal and with potentially pinch healing or anything like that. You should be easily able to be consistently in the top half of your HP. His special is nice. We finally get a dedicated attack booster for fighters, a good one at least. 2.25 is really good. And then if he's your captain or friend captain, recover 10 turns of chain reduction and chain lock. So 2 really annoying debuffs. He gets rid of them for 10 turns, which is really nice. So overall, a really solid captain ability and a very solid special. Actually, I would say an amazing captain ability and a solid special. So here we go. A Sugofest was announced. It's actually tomorrow night, I believe. And if we take a look at the Sugofest, it's really interesting because the third multi will not be a guaranteed legend. It will be guaranteed one of the new batch, which could include Sanji. But you will be guaranteed one of the new batch, which is Zeph, Peckham's, Baron, Tamago, and Pudding. I'll take a look at those guys here in a second. But 5th, 7th, and 12th multi are guaranteed legends. So maybe you want to go up to 5 or 7 multis. If you're a whale, you can go all the way to 15 multis, because 10th and 15th guarantee you a legend from that pool. Looking at it, like personally, if I'm looking at it, I'm missing Judge, Katakuri, and the V2 Luffy Gear 4. So those are on there. Gil Tesoro, Aokiji V2. Actually is a pretty good amount of legends on there. Unfortunately, I'm definitely not doing 10 multis. I probably won't even pull in the Sugo. Someone's actually went ahead on the Reddit here and calculated out the multipliers. Of course, like I said, he does boost the chain, which means the more perfects you hit, the higher his multiplier is going to be. And looks like once you hit all 6 perfects, your final character is going to hit for 5.5 times attack from one Sanji. So like I said, originally the first character, you get the base 1.75 that Sanji gives, but then second character is going to hit for 3.7, which is the standard nowadays for a legend. And then after that, it just gets crazy. 4.5 times, 5 times, 5.25, and 5.5. So pretty much your last 4 characters are going to be hitting for crazy amounts of damage. That means that you could bring a support unit or whatever. However, I do believe Sanji does require you to have 6 fighters, but you know, as time has gone on, we've got some pretty good ones, including I believe the new Colosseum Opera is going to be a fighter as well, but I'll cover him in another video. When it comes to the batch, is the batch good? Well, let's take a look, guys. We have first, I'm going to start with Zeph, because Zeph, this is the first rare recruit Zeph that we're getting. When his captain is a fighter captain, when the captain is a fighter captain, you get a 1.75 affinity boost for fighters, which is nice. They don't really have a color affinity booster outside of, I would say, Hina. And Sanji is yellow, so you could run Hina, who does boost color affinity for yellow and for blue, and it's 2 times, I believe. So that is one possible option if you don't want to pull for the Zeph and you do get Sanji. But Zeph does do it for all fighters, so we'll do it for the full team. But again, if you only need the color affinity from the yellow units against a boss, purple boss, or run some blue units against a red boss, then you could run Hina instead. It does give you a higher affinity boost. Let's see, Peckham's cuts 20% HP by 1 turn and will ignore barriers and they get damage getting abilities. We saw that, I believe that, I think was it Raid Boss Cracker yesterday, I believe. And then completely removes any defense up from all enemies, so that's nice. It doesn't set their defense to 0, so I believe if a character has naturally high defense, it will not put that to 0, but it does remove any defense boost. And nowadays, I feel like almost every boss has a defense boost, so that is really good. I assume that just means the normal blue shield we'll get rid of, but maybe we'll get rid of something else. I'm not 100% sure on how that will work. Quick Pudding is probably the better one from the batch. Just pretty much every single batch seems to have one super OP support unit, and this time it's pudding. Changes all orbs to the same orb as herself. Recovers 5k HP for 1 turn, reduce incoming damage by 80%, and reduce 4 turns of increased damage buff, which is kind of weird. But paralysis, bind, and despair. So normally we see paralysis and bind, or paralysis and despair, or paralysis and silence. She does pretty much 3 of those. The only one she doesn't do is remove silence. But that's still really, really good. As you see, like I said, paralysis normally only paired with one of those 2, so getting all 3 in one character, really good. And the fact that she does recover the 5k means that you probably will be able to tank the 80%, the reduced 20% hit, I should say. And yeah, really powerful unit. I would say she's probably going to be the MVP from the batch. And then finally, Baron Tamago. Let's see what he does. It does damage that will ignore. Okay, so it's a little bit of damage. When the captain is a fighter captain, change all orbs, including block orbs, to matching orbs. So he's pretty much just an orb manipulator for fighter teams. Pretty, it's whatever in my opinion. It'll be good, obviously, if you have Sanji, but outside of Sanji teams, will you use Baron Tamago? Probably not. But still, you know, obviously it's a new rare recruit. It will be boosted for treasure mode. So if you could pull any of these guys, it would be really good. So overall, guys, my thoughts on Sanji is that he's powerful. He's a really powerful legend. The multiplier is insane. Of course, if you don't hit all perfects, you will lose out on some damage, just like you know, a little bit more than you normally would with a non-chain boosting captain. But the fact that he gives you a base 1.75 means that at least your first unit is going to deal some damage, potentially take out a mob. It won't deal like the base 1 times damage. And on top of that, you're just doing so much damage after a few hits that this is, in my opinion, going to be definitely a top tier character. The main restriction is, of course, you do have to run 6 fighter units, which is a big restriction. That's a really, really big restriction. But I think it's going to be one that's not going to be too bad to fulfill. Especially nowadays, a lot of old rare recruits getting limit breaks. Some of the old fighter units are starting to become good again. So yeah, that's sort of my overall thoughts, guys. Let me know what your thoughts on the new Legend Sanji are down below. And with that said, until next time, guys, peace.